My name is Gabriella, but I'm called Gabi as a nickname. I'm 16 years old. I live in Stockholm, Sweden, and I'm in upper high school. I was in a commercial for a political party in Sweden, and English friend was one of the, usually like helping kind of our clothes and the other children and stuff. And the whole thing is that I had quite a lot of ideas about who I was. I was still young, but I mean, I was like, oh yeah, I'm Gabi. I wear boyish clothes. I don't wear this and that. And it was kind of like she thought that was quite a good subject to make a documentary about. So she, told Emily that, yeah, there's this kid who has quite a lot of good ideas. And, she contacted my mum and we went for like a coffee, talked about what I like, what I think is wrong in the world, society and everything. And that's how it all started. So I guess in the beginning I was quite in it. It was, I was like, yeah, sure, it's fun to kind of say my ideas and stuff. Because in the beginning it was going to be a short film, so it wasn't as long as it is now. Where I lived in Dalarna was a very small town. It's just over 20,000 maybe. And the whole thing is that, I don't know, to be like close with people there, you kind of have to be born there, I'd say. And so like families know each other, the businesses are family owned. I mean, it's nice though, but I guess if you come as an outsider, it's quite hard to fit in. So it was quite difficult in the beginning to get friends and stuff, and I have friends now, so it got better, obviously. It wasn't like I didn't have anyone to talk to. It was really positive filming, Emily and the camera crew and everyone were very close, so it wasn't like we didn't get along or anything. But I mean, sometimes we had our bad days, sometimes good days. But I mean, when I got older, I feel like got into the more part about identity and talking about how it is in society. So I felt that part is the part where it got more interesting. They didn't want to feel like it was just like they decided everything, especially with when we filmed Amora and how we decided that, because we didn't really have like a time schedule. They came for a few days and then we were like, okay, so maybe we should film for 2 hours, eat lunch, go play football outside. And I feel like that was quite a good setup with a kid especially, because a kid can't just sit all day and film. And also with the whole privacy and stuff, it was more my parents who got to do that part more. And they discussed that with them a lot, because they were like, okay, maybe this part we can't have with, because it's too private. Or before it was coming out, I gave my opinion, what should be in, what should be out. Mm-hmm. My parents too, so we all got to be included. I felt that was really nice. Yeah, I guess it's quite an important subject in 2022, because when my parents were younger, gender identity and sexuality wasn't really like it is today. Because today it's more accepted, I'd say, especially where I live. So I mean, it's quite important. I mean, if maybe someone has a kid at home who feels more like a boy or girl, or doesn't feel anything, or I feel like this film is very important to young people, and that people can relate. So I feel appreciated that it's got the attention it has from a lot of people, and not only young people but also older generations. Parents, there were grandparents sometimes who had young kids, or like the granddaughters and stuff. I mean, children today do have a lot of good things to say, and I feel like a lot of adults don't really listen. To be oneself, I mean, it's good to be yourself instead of being, fake or playing kind of like a part. I mean, it's your life, you can do what you want. It's quite hard to break the norm, especially where I lived, because it's quite fitting in and stuff. I live in a small town, and I was scared about that and how people would react to my film and what I was talking about. But I mean, it's got really good reviews from film festivals around the world. So I mean, I feel very glad and appreciated that people, they can see themselves in film. I'm not that worried, because I've grown up in my generation is quite smart. It's not like I lived 50 years ago when it was quite like, boys are this way, girls are that way. So, I mean, I'm not that worried about the future. I mean, I still, don't really know what I want to do in the future, but that's the only problem I have, probably. I'm still searching, because I'm only 16, it's okay to not know how you feel, what you want to do in the future, anything that has to do with that. So, just try and figure it out. It can be hard when people say, try to figure it out. Do different things. It could change in 10 years.